Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Steelix. Steelix on team number 4 from my top 5 best Ultra League teams. This thing is amazing, especially as a closer, which is what it will be on team 4. And also on this team, Giratina on the safe swap. Giratina is basically fairy bait. Giratina is on this team to bait out a potential fairy, and yes, I do understand this team quite weak to charm, but most fairies are not running charm in the Ultra League, at least where I see them. And also rounding out the team, Virizion on the lead to handle any potential steel types on the lead. Yeah, my Steelix maxes out at level 49. It's currently at level 48, and it still puts in the work in the Ultra League. And here we go, positive lead, Swampert. They make a play into a Dragon Breath Giratina, and oh my gosh, did we have an answer to this thing. Oh, Steelix has to be, if not the worst matchup for Giratina in this meta, top 3, top 2 maybe, especially when they're running Dragon Breath. It's about as bad as it gets. For very obvious reasons, we're resisting the fast move pressure, we're dealing super effective fast move pressure, and we can hit for super effective with our breaking swipes. It is about as dominant of a matchup as you will ever find. So what we're going to do here is really look to load up on energy, because I really do anticipate them bringing that Swampert back in. And Steelix actually puts up quite a fight up against Swampert. And if we have this thing maxed at level 49, I do believe we actually beat Swampert in the 2s. Actually, I know that, yeah, because I checked the sims before I ran it, and we do drop the Swampert matchup at level 48. But that's not going to stop us from spamming these breaking swipes, courtesy of our healthy farm on that Dragon Breath Giratina. We are just letting them rip, of course, on proper timing. If you run a 3-turn fast move, you want to be throwing on odd numbers if you're up against a 2-turn fast move. So that's where you notice we throw 1, and then our charge move, that is proper timing. You could also throw after 3, or 5, or so on, odd numbers. And yeah, see right there, I think if we were fully maxed, we would have been able to make it to that breaking swipe, but that is okay. We bring in our Virizion to meet that Swampert, and they counter swap or save swap a Charizard, excuse me. And of course, we are going to align our Giratina onto this Charizard, and although they can hit us for super effective, Giratina's extreme bulk allows it to hang in there, take super effective Dragon Claw after super effective Dragon Claw, and really put in the work up against Charizard. So we are just trading Dragon Claws back and forth. I'm making sure to go for the extras, because you never really want to play to a CMP tie that you do not win. That is just a missed opportunity to get that guaranteed sneak through, which can come in handy mostly if there is a lot of aggressive swapping, because the energies are offset there. But I digress. Getting into all the jargon, we're grabbing shields off of this Charizard, going for another Dragon Claw, and now we're gonna shield their next Dragon Claw. Their play is to make a combo play, so we're going to bait them to get off that combo play, because that Swampert has energy, and they fell for the bait. Holy smokes. Oh, we baited them, and they fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because we can now come in with our Virizion, and because of all the work that we put in on that Charizard, we only need one resisted move to take it out, and they are not making it to a Blast Burn. They had to expend all their energy to get our Giratina low. So now we are at the back-to-back. Gonna get rid of the Swampert with a Leaf Blade, of course. We say bye-bye to the Swampert, and we've got the Sacred Sword locked and loaded for the Charizard. Had to bait that combo play to just about get this one done, and it worked. Just as the timer begins to count down, holy smokes, Virizion taking out a Charizard. Not something you see every day, but good game, well played. Yeah, I had enough XLs to get it almost maxed, and I just didn't want to wait. I know how good Steelix is, and I am having a lot of fun with it. And here we go, Cobalion lead now. Our Virizion almost always loses CMP tied to either an opposing Virizion or a Cobalion, because they have the same stats, and that is exactly what occurs here. And they're staying in on a really bad lead, so that can only mean one thing. They're core broken, so we're catching double resisted damage on our Giratina. Gonna preserve the health on our Virizion to see what they have in the back. And there it is. They were 100% core broken by a Virizion lead. They've got a Greninja in the back. So we do draw this out because it's not great for Steelix either, because it does outpace to the Hydro Cannons, which they're not fun for Steelix. So we're just going to do what we can here with these Dragon Claws. Of course, they are resisting our fast move pressure with the Dark typing, but Greninja, one of the squishiest Pokemon in the entire meta, so even resisted damage begins to add up, and these Dragon Claws we get to at a very fast rate. Although they do tank that one, and they will not allow us to get to another move, understandably so. They should be fighting to control alignment here. So we're going to come in with our Virizion, kick this thing down, and they've got a Giratina of their own in the back. Oh no, that's not good for Virizion, and this Cobalion still relatively healthy, considering it's only taking resisted damage from our Steelix here. So this one, getting a little dicey, a little monka, as the kids would say. But I think we're up to the task here. All we have to do is just debuff this attack as much as we can. We don't need shields for Giratina, so we're going to spin the shields here. And our opponent, hats off to them, playing brilliantly. They know what they need to do to try and make a miracle happen by shielding this low health Cobalion, understanding that they're taking resisted damage, but the Dragon Claws, the Breaking Swipes are really getting the job done here for us. As we can see, that Sacred Sword does laughable damage considering it was super effective. And they do swap out back into the Giratina, but it's not going to help them. As I mentioned, Steelix, one of the worst matchups for Giratina, even if they're running Shadow Claw. It is, make no mistake, better than running Dragon Breath up against Steelix, but not that much better, really. Because we are slowly but surely whittling away with our super effective Dragon Tails while also debuffing their attack stats. So yeah, this is just about over. This Giratina is within Leaf Blade range, resisted Leaf Blade range, I should say, and they are just doing no damage at this point. And yeah, Steelix, an absolute monster in the Ultra League. Holy smokes. If you've got one or you don't have one, I would highly recommend working on one if you can. This thing is legitimate meta, 1000% in the Ultra League, and we are saying bye-bye to the Giratina, courtesy of all the work Steelix put in. Holy smokes, that's going to be yet another good game well played. Team number 4 from my top 5 best Ultra League teams was really putting in the work in the Ultra League. And here we go. A Core Breaker, Skuntank. Not good. Core breaks Virizion and Giratina quite well. But that's not going to stop us from trying to tackle this task here. Going to go for a neutral Sacred Sword. We want to preserve health because they are dealing significant super effective fast move pressure. So we do shield up the resisted move, and we are going to look to go for another Sacred Sword here. So I think what we're going to look to do is if they shield, we're actually going to force the swap by going into the hard counter, and we draw out of Virizion. So, okay, not bad. The reason why we want to force a swap is so that we can get an energy advantage on that Skuntank. That's what we will need to get rid of it. So we do draw this out, and we will not shield anything. All we want to do is draw something out that allows us to get an energy advantage to take out that Skuntank. So here we are playing out this matchup here, just going for the Breaking Swipes. And I think at this point I've decided to come in with my own Giratina to farm this thing down because with all these debuffs, it's just not going to be able to do anything to Giratina. And they recognize they're becoming quite compromised in terms of their attack stats, so they do take us out, and that is fine. We're going to bring in our Giratina and farm this thing all the way down. We are not throwing a move whatsoever. They're not going to be doing any damage whatsoever to our Giratina. Giratina, one of the best answers to Virizion in the meta. because we are double resisting the fast move pressure. And they realized that where we were looking to farm them down, they were onto us, not sticking around for that. They throw the Skuntank back in. So we are absolutely loaded, and that is why we wanted to force the swap to get an energy lead. That's how you overcome very difficult obstacles such as a Skuntank core breaker. I was trying to go for the farm, and in hindsight I think we could have gotten it, but in the heat of the battle I wasn't quite sure, so we opt to catch the resisted move onto our Virizion, and they look to combo play with the energy they have stored on their own Virizion. So I'm hoping like heck there's something that Giratina can beat in the back. We have shields down, they have a shield remaining, and they've got a Greninja in the back. Oh my gosh, this is a brutal team here, but we do have a very significant energy lead, and I'm hoping that can carry us through here. Going to spam these Dragon Claws with proper timing. Greninja runs a 3-turn fast move. If you run a 2-turn, you want to be throwing on 1, 4, 7, or 10. So we're throwing 1 and then the move, which is proper timing. Grabbing the final shield. And now this is the moment of truth. They're going to get off a Night Slash. They are 1 off from another Night Slash. We go for the Dragon Claw, and this has to KO to get this done. I'm thinking, come on, KO. But no, it just does not KO. Oh, they hang on with about 2 HP or so, and yeah, just could not get that one done. That was a brutal team, and if I'm being honest, we had no business beating that team anyways. Good game, well played to them. I was really excited to give team number 4 from my top 5 best Ultra League teams a try, and I was not disappointed. For reasons like this, Virizion, one of the best leads you could possibly run in the Ultra League. We've got a juicy Registeel lead here. We comfortably tank a Focus Blast, no problem, and of course, we are doing super effective damage with our fast move pressure. We go for the Sacred Sword, and they make a brilliant catch on a Virizion of their own. Brilliant! We've got just the answer to this! We're going to meet this with our Giratina. Again, one of the best answers to Virizion in the entire meta. Why? Because with our Ghost typing, we are double resisting the fast move pressure, and we do have more bulk than this Virizion here. Gonna go for the Dragon Claw here. That is what you'll want to be doing in all neutral situations, going Dragon Claw. It is the better move. Shadow Sneak, only there really for steal coverage and fairies. Otherwise, it is a terrible move. And we're just overloading because we want to leave this matchup with energy to put in work up against that Registeel there. So that's why we're not throwing the move immediately. We do throw slightly inefficiently by throwing while capped out on energy, but I still wanted to throw with proper timing, and we do have loaded energy, so we accomplished our goal in that matchup. We took out the Virizion and left the matchup with energy to threaten the Registeel. That is how you get ahead in the Ultra League. Proper energy management is always the name of the game in this league, particularly. So they're back in here, and they're going to look to throw a move here. It's not going to KO, but it gets us within a range where they can double resisted farm down potentially with lock-ons, which makes it very awkward and annoying. Because any seasoned trainer would see that and attempt to do just that. And we get greedy trying to get to this Shadow Sneak. Probably should have just thrown the Dragon Claw in hindsight. But yeah, they do end up leaving with a move. And we will shield this because we don't know what they have in the back. It's a Pidgeot, so holy smokes. Yeah, I guess that last RPS team that we were put up against, unfortunately, I guess it's making up for it with this one here because we just had an answer to their team at every turn here. But it looks like they want to put up a fight. Yeah, they're shielding the Pidgeot up against the Steelix. Holy smokes, it's over, my friend. It is over. You do not have a win con, but they are going to go down with the ship, it seems. I don't know what they are doing. There is no win condition for this trainer. At this point, they're just drawing out the inevitable, unfortunately. So, yeah, quite tedious here because we're both debuffing each other at every turn. The only difference is we're doing neutral damage to them, resisting their fast move pressure and their charge moves. There's just no hope for this Pidgeot here. No hope whatsoever. I presume they're just stalling to clear the debuffs, but we're just going to bring in our Virizion, kick it down, and the timer is approaching here, and they only have one Pokemon remaining. So after seeing that, I think they definitely should top left because they're just not going to... Yeah, it's over. So yeah, I guess rant over and Pidgeot over. We're saying bye-bye to the annoying and stubborn Pidgeot. Or not quite. The timer said bye-bye for us. We got that one done. Good game, well played to that. Oh man, this Steelix not even at its full potential. It still puts in the work. Gonna be scary once it finally gets maxed to level 49. But here we go, Walrein. Positive lead, but not comfortable, because obviously they're doing super effective damage with their Powder Snows, and they get to their super effective Icicle Spears at a pretty fast rate, but we do still outpace. We do comfortably tank one, and I do believe we shield the first one to try and force a swap here. But they're not falling for it. They are perhaps weak in the back because a Walrein lead can often have a Swampert in the back and perhaps a Charizard. That is the most powerful, budget-friendly team. All three Pokemon have had community days and are very strong in the Ultra League. So a very common team comp. You can see it run in any order, but generally Walrein, Swampert, and Charizard. They do cut the losses after getting us quite low, but no, it's a Gyarados in the back. So very interesting. Could still be a Swampert as well. There was a triple water team that gained a bit of usage a couple of seasons back, but we let Virizion go down, perhaps now reading that there is a triple water line. Maybe. That's the only time I ever see Gyarados behind a Walrein. So we bring in our Steelix and the team reads spot on. It was that triple water line from a few seasons ago. And we had an answer to the Swampert here, coming in the form of our Giratina. So yeah, this is looking pretty good for us because even though that Gyarados can hit our Steelix for super effective, we do shield the Earthquake to let them know it's not going to happen, but they are still in this fight here, and that is okay. But we resist that fast move pressure from the Gyarados, and even if they can hit us for super effective with the Aqua Tails, we can still debuff that damage and mitigate the damage output from it. So it's a pretty solid matchup for our Steelix. They do go for the Earthquake when shields are down. That's what you should be doing on Giratina. But it's not going to help them. We just outpace, and we have the Steelix with loaded energy going to begin to unleash the breaking swipes upon this Gyarados. And they're just letting it all go, likely conceding the match here. This move will not do much of anything really to our Steelix here, and we are just going to Dragon Tail it down. Steelix takes this one in the end, doing its job to perfection. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Steelix on team number 4 from my top 5 best Ultra League teams did not disappoint. And here we go. Juicy Greninja lead. They make a play into a Steelix, so they are very much core broken by Virizion here. Another reason why I really love Virizion and the Ultra League, particularly as a lead, we grab an early shield from the Steelix here. So, knowing that we have two Pokemon in the back that don't want to see a Greninja, this is very awkward because we're going to have to swap out. We want to preserve Virizion for that Greninja. So we chip with a Sacred Sword, and we got an early shield. So now we throw Steelix in here to take out this opposing Steelix. They've already given up a shield, so not likely they shield a potential Earthquake. And we call a breaking swipe here successfully, which was quite nice. But we are just going to go straight for the Earthquake. This is where it comes in handy. We take out the opposing Steelix with the super effective Earthquake. And now they meet us with their Greninja. So we're going to let this go and just look to come back in with our Virizion. That, of course, is our best answer, but not before debuffing this Greninja here, which is going to actually allow us to really put in work up against this Greninja, because from this range, you really don't want to throw a move as a seasoned trader. You want to get that energy advantage. But it's tricky for them because they are really becoming quite compromised. Look at Steelix putting in the work. Holy smokes, this thing is an absolute monster, I'm telling you guys. But they got a Pidgeot in the back. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh, this is awful. But we're not going to give up just yet here. We're really healthy. We have the shield advantage. And although they are double resisting our fast move pressure, the Dragon Claws do begin to add up. But they're going to throw these Feather Dances and make it even worse for us, understandably so. But that's not going to deter us here just yet. I'm still seeing a potential win con, which is why we are still here. Virizion still also very healthy, and a neutral Sacred Sword does quite a bit of damage to a Pidgeot. So not going to hang it up just yet. I'm seeing a win con. We're sticking it out here, going for these Dragon Claws. They're just going straight Feather Dance here in this matchup, but they look to combo play. So have to shield this. And they do have the back-to-back, so we catch, predicting that they will throw on alignment onto our Virizion. Oh, we have to make the plays to try and pull out this crazy Ultra League win here. And we do get the farm necessary to leave that matchup with a move, not debuffed, which is key. Grabbing that final shield from the Pidgeot, and we will make it to another move, so it forces them to throw. So now, obviously, we will let this go because we're in Brave Bird range. We're going to save the shield for Giratina. They're not going to make it in time to debuff this next Dragon Claw, which means it's going to be doing much more significant damage, and now it's over. Checkmate! We got that undebuffed Dragon Claw through, which won the game because all we had to do was shield up the next move and get off another Dragon Claw, and it was going to be over. So good game, well played to them. Oh man, that last one was very challenging. It was quite satisfying to see us get that one done. Pidgeot in the back was insane. But here we go. We had a Swampert. They safe swap a Walrein. So another team core broken by a Virizion lead. So what we should be doing here is throw this Leaf Blade, and we see that they tank that. We need to come in with Steelix immediately. But full disclosure, to be fair, I had a slight distraction, so we're not playing at our best here. After seeing them land that, and we give up another shield, so misplaying this out of the gate. So we were in too deep at that moment. We just commit to the farm down and load up. I'm reading Zard in the back, Swampert lead, Wally safe swap. You can bet the house there's a Charizard. That is, again, the most common budget-friendly Calm Day team you can slap together if you don't have Ultra League Pokemon. And it is quite effective. So there's the Zard in shadow form, and we've got our Giratina in on this Charizard, as I don't believe Switch Timer is quite up for them just yet. And they do let our Dragon Claw go as they pivot into their Swampert here. So now, having to work our way out of a pickle. This could have been pretty straightforward, but we made a slight misplay on that Walrein swap in. So here we are, working our way out of a pickle. The reason why is because they're saving the shields to two-shield that Charizard through the remainder of our team, but they might be in for a rude awakening. They're going to take us out with this EQ here, and of course we're going to come in with our Virizion and take out the Swampert. It's not a good matchup for Steelix when we have no shields. So we do take out that Swampert, and now all they have left is the Zard. Gonna try and get some chip damage in. I'm not expecting them to shield, but they do, realizing how squishy their Charizard is. And we throw the Steelix in, and they throw the Blast Burn, which is awful. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, but these Dragon Tails are absolutely chunking. We have not debuffed them yet. This is just a Dragon Claw. We survive long enough to get that Breaking Swipe off to take a little bit of the sting off of these resisted wing attacks. Shadow wing attacks, I must say, with Stab, allowing us to really chunk with the Dragon Tails. And now, oh my gosh, against all odds, after making a slight misplay, they can only make it to a Dragon Claw, and the resisted double kick takes it out. Team number 4, if you weren't sold, my friends, is the real deal, and that is why it made it onto my top 5 best teams. It is a powerful team, able to come in clutch in the end, as we saw there. Holy smokes. But that is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to our opponent. And team number 4 from my top 5 best Ultra League teams was amazing. Now, I will preface that by saying if you have a lot of charm at your particular elo range, you might want to steer clear of Team 4 and maybe check out a few of the other teams on my top 5 best teams. But if you're at a higher elo, you don't generally see a whole lot of charm. To be honest, I have not seen one single charmer since Ultra League has begun. So I don't know if that helps you out any bit. But yeah, Charm, not great for this team, as Virizion and Giratina take super effective damage, and Steelix can do nothing to fairies. So again, if you have a lot of Charm at your elo, steer clear, check out a different team. But for those of you at higher elo ranges, you don't see a whole lot of Charm. This team, for sure, the real deal. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.